All right, for those of you who I don't see today because of testing, you still need to do stuff for my class because we're doing review and we're doing a quiz. So, again, if you do have me today, you don't really have to watch this because we'll be doing everything together in class. But if you don't come in for class today because of testing, please do the following things that I'm going to ask you to do. First off, we're going to review and go over everything we've been learning about so far. And the learning objective for this day is students will be able to explain ecological interactions between organisms by analyzing flow of matter and energy, contrasting primary versus secondary succession, interpreting symbiotic relationships, and identifying levels of organization. So we've covered a lot of material at this point. The do not covers those things too. We're going to review, again, which consumer level eats producers / autotrophs. And then our second question asks you to list the 3 types of consumers. And then our third question is asking you what % of energy travels up each trophic level when an organism gets consumed. The first thing we are doing is to do a foldable. It is linked in Canvas right below this video. What I'm going to ask you to do is that you're going to follow along with the instructions after you print it out, and you're going to still create one to bring to class to show me. The instructions are as follows. You can pause on the screen if you need to so you can read through it, but I will run through it once. So you're going to have your page. There's no page 2, sorry. It's just the page that you have. You're going to cut along the dotted lines so that you have a singular piece without the extra white borders. And then we're going to number the sides 1, 2, and 3. For example, your sides 1, 2, and 3, the back of the side that has the print already on it is going to be side 1. So on the other side, please label this 1. This middle section right here is going to be section 2. So write 2 on the back. And section 3 over here is going to be labeled on the back with the big number 3. This part will end up on the inside, so you don't really have to worry about seeing it. And then also along the inside of this side, please write your name and your class period so that when you turn it into me, I know whose it is and how to grade it in your grade book. All right. But otherwise, this dotted line outline should be cut out. And then there should be no white border like this right side and this left side on your paper. The next thing you're going to do is we're going to number the trophic levels. So on side 1 right here, we're going to be numbering producer, number 0, primary consumer, number 1, secondary consumer, number 2, and tertiary consumer, number 3. So you're going to put those numbers right above where the title already is for each of those sections. On side 2, we're going to label the energy levels. So we're using joules here because joules is a measurement or a unit of energy. And we're going to start out with 100. These are still easy numbers, so you can still work with them in your brain and understand that they match the percentages. But technically, you could use any number. Like instead of 100, I could use 400. And then it would be 40, 4, and 0.4. You know, easy math. But we're going to start with 100 joules. And 100 joules is going to be labeled right here along the bottom. Then we're going to be labeling 10 joules, 1 joule, and 0.1 joules. The next thing is on side 3, you're going to use the word bank shown here on this screen. So again, that's why I'm going to ask you if you need to pause it on this screen, you can. But you're going to use the producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer that you can find from this word bank. And you're going to fill in side 3. So again, the producer has to match the producer side here, primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer. If you're not really sure what these organisms eat, you can look up what they eat to figure it out. That's on you. After, you're going to then fold along this diagonal, and you're going to fold these into a triangular pyramid, which means that it should be able to stand up and it's going to have 3 faces. You're going to make sure that these 2 edges touch, and you're going to glue or tape this to the inside of this, and it's going to stand up like a little tent. That's what I should see from you. Now, if you want to color each level to make it match all the way around, for example, like producer would be red, red, red all the way around, that would be super cute. You don't have to color it, but if it's helpful for your brain to organize it, go ahead and do that. The next thing I do want you to do is to do a Kahoot. In Canvas, if you are not able to attend class because of testing, I linked one that's already assigned to you. Please put your name and your class period when you log in with the nickname or the username so that I can grade it for you properly. And you're going to complete 20 questions on that Kahoot. If we're in class, you're not going to use that one. You'll do the one that we have together in class. We pretty much go over all these questions in the Kahoot. And then the last thing you're going to do is that on Canvas, there is a quiz. The quiz is short. It's only 5 questions. In the section where it says Unit 1, Week 3, my bad, it's going to say Ecology quiz at the very, very, very bottom. There's only 5 questions, so that means that if you even get one wrong, automatically your grade drops from 100% to an 80%, and getting 2 wrong is 60, which is failing. So please, please, I cannot beg you enough, as you're doing your answers, go back through one more time to double check everything and make sure that everything you picked is the best answer that you can pick. All right. So again, if you're not in class with me, these are the 3 things I'm requiring you to do. If you can drop by to pick up a paper for the foldable, you totally can if you can't print it on your own. I have extras for you. So again, foldable, Kahoot, and review. Please do, and quiz. Please do it in that order. It does not help you to do the quiz first and then do the review after. Like literally, what's the point? So please do it in those orders. And again, if you need the paper for the foldable, please drop by my room. If you finish all this, then you're good for the day and you have a good weekend. Make sure you get a lot of rest. Testing was rough this week. I'll see you next week.